So my name is Linda Schmidt. I'm a 5-year volunteer here at the Alfred Caldwell Lily Pool, and I enjoy leading the garden walks because it's such a special place here in Chicago. Caldwell designed it to be a getaway for the people of the city of Chicago, a free getaway, and it still remains so, and it's one of my very favorite places here in the city. You know, this is Pye Weed. Wonderful purple and pink blooms throughout summer. They grow very tall, but this is a nice example of one gone to seed. And these little seeds are called, I call them, and I'm not sure I have the correct pronunciation, achines, A-C-H-E-N-E-S. And so you can see each little seed is attached to this feathery matter, and it helps them disperse in the wind. And so this is the plant reproducing in the fall. And they're also something that birds would eat and enjoy, bugs. And let's see if we can see. Oh! It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So it's a nice thing to have. So they hang on to the achines oftentimes quite a long time. So this provides some interest in your late fall garden, this look. Yeah. So you shouldn't cut them down, you should leave them up so that they can go through the entire cycle. Lots of people get anxious about their Pye weed and want to cut it down when it starts looking like this, but you should really leave them up. Okay, so we're very lucky today to have found a Pye weed that's just finishing up its bloom. And you can see the beautiful pink purpley color of the blooms. And you can see the achines, A-C-H-E-N-E-S, starting to form. The little feathery, so these are going to be the little feathery things that hold the seeds to spread the plant for next year, for new plants. It's a beautiful plant. Red stems, cluster blooms, long narrow leaves. Pye weed likes to grow near water. It was named by a Native American, Pye, who called it gravel root, because if you drink a tea made from the leaves and the roots, it was said to help with stomach issues. So Pye, the pioneers were lucky because so much of their knowledge about the flora and fauna of the area was passed on to pioneers who then used it for themselves. So very, very much something that we need to appreciate, that lore and the knowledge of the people who came before us about these plants. Nice. Clematis, the native clematis. So that clematis has a beautiful white bloom in the fall. Most of it's a very invasive, very hardy plant, and when it starts growing on top of your other plants, it's not a particularly good thing, but it's a wonderfully hardy clematis. Quite unusual because of the size of the blooms and that they're cluster blooms, and normally other clematis are single blooms, the ones that we traditionally see. They also produce these wonderful spidery seed heads, and if we see some coming up, we can point them out, but it's a really attractive plant for the fall. And this would be very nice in a garden, a single plant, growing up on a trellis. Really pretty. Really clematis pretty. In bloom. This is the autumn blooming clematis, the wild one, Clematis Virginia. And here you can see the beautiful seeds that remain. And so again, this is a type of an achene. So when these release, these little things, these are not quite mature enough to pull them out, will spread all over. But they're also wonderful because, like the Pye weed, they create winter interest in your garden. They actually remain on the plant for quite a long time. And they're really, really, I think they're wonderful, the look of them. So each one of these little feathers, several of them would attach to a little seed, and and you can almost see the little seeds quite clearly on some of them. And that's how they reproduce, spreading. Yeah. One of the nice things about fall that we all look for, and look at the giant spider web, is the milkweed pods, because this is how the plants reproduce. You know, milkweeds are valuable for monarch butterflies. They lay their eggs and the caterpillars eat the leaves. And then when the milkweeds are in bloom, the monarchs themselves, the full butterflies, drink the nectar in the blooms, and then the pods come, and this is how they reproduce. So we're very happy to have lots of milkweed pods here today. Milkweeds are an ancient plant. They were named by Linnaeus. They're named for the Greek god of healing, whatever it is. My Greek is not so good, but for the Greek god of healing. They're named because they have a milky sap in the stems. And it's beautiful. They're beautiful plants. Yeah, and they're nice to have. The Field Museum did a study that was published this year, and they basically said that if American gardeners would put 2 or 3 milkweeds into all of the gardens in the country, that we could bring back the monarch butterfly population. So, something to think about. And I have a friend who has a nice little stand of milkweeds that she put in her garden for this year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and here we have one of our famous milkweed bugs. Relaxing on this one. You know, I'm not sure what the real name of these bugs, but in my mind they're always milkweed bugs. You always see them around milkweeds. Yes. The next generation of milkweed bugs, they must go hide in the ground for winter. Otherwise, I don't know how they would survive. You know, milkweeds, these are the sort of the fluffy achenes, A-C-H-E-N-E-S, inside the pods. And like silk, they're just amazing. And so they hold on to the seeds and float in the air. And so this, hopefully, in the right conditions, all of these will become a new milkweed plant. Although milkweeds are, you know, kind of hard to take hold. We're lucky that we have many of them here in the lily pool. It's wonderful the way they sort of bunch up and float. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. New milkweed plants. These are lovely.
They are pretty. They're so much fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you opened that one.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't show what I thought it was going to show, but that's all right. 'Cause
Yeah.
This is cool.
Didn't end up looking all scraggly and stuff. You know. So thank you very much for coming on our walk today, our fall walk. You know, a fall garden is something where we can see nature getting ready for winter. So it's a really interesting time to be here. The lily pool is open every day, so I hope you get a chance to come and visit.